Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. Today I wanted to sit down and do another casual chatty video. I've done these a few times recently and really enjoyed doing them on all sorts of random topics like life updates and the wedding. But today I have something else to chat about, and I just again wanted to keep it really simple and casual as I chat about it and share my opinions on the subject. For the video today I'll be sharing my opinions and things that I've noticed since I became vegetarian about 6 months ago. I'm a little bit early, it's nearly 6 months, but it is coming up and I feel like it's gone by pretty quick, but then again in some ways it feels like longer since obviously I've said in the past I was paring back and cutting down on meat for, months and months. But there's a few things I've noticed over the course of the past few months when I've been fully vegetarian that I thought might be interesting to share here for you to hear about. Maybe if you're in a similar position, there are other things that you've noticed, definitely let me know, or perhaps you'll relate to the things I'm saying today. Either way, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm just about to jump into it. Alright, so the first few points I'll mention are all things I know I've mentioned in the past, either in passing or these specific vegetarian videos, and I just thought I'd point them out here so everything's all together. So maybe you've seen or heard me mention these before, but if not, I still wanted to get them in here. One of the big things I've noticed straight off the bat could be appealing to quite a lot of people, and that is saving money. I'm pretty surprised and pleasantly surprised with how much money I've saved each shop, and of course over the past 6 months combined. I feel like with every grocery shop I'm saving maybe $40 a week, which is pretty good. That's obviously for 2 people for, lunches and dinners when we'd normally have meat, and obviously these vegetarian substitutes that I'm having are way cheaper. Still really healthy, we still have quite a high protein diet. We're just having things like beans, chickpeas, tofu, and now I'm making my own seitan. So I'm pretty happy with that. Obviously there are many other benefits, like I chose to be vegetarian for ethical reasons, and I'm happy with the environmental changes as well. I think it's great for the environment. But if you're someone who's motivated by money and saving money, maybe it could be a good thing to trial just to see how much money you can save. I just wanted to put that point out there first because I've definitely heard people say in the past they think that being vegetarian would be expensive or being vegan is expensive, when I really don't think that's the case at all. Technically it could be if you're buying heaps of pre-packaged fake meat, because I know obviously, fake meats and even fake dairy products can be more expensive than their alternatives. But in natural form, veggies and proteins and tofu and things like that are way cheaper. So I just wanted to get that one out there. The next thing I noticed, and I've spoken about again a lot, is the fact that I've really rediscovered my love for cooking. I think because I have this challenge now of cooking with different ingredients, it's really reignited my love for cooking, and it's given me new challenges. Obviously I still cook a lot, and I always have. I think in the past I just fell into a little bit of a lull and a bit of a rut with what I was cooking. But now I'm cooking the same meals but doing them with vegetarian alternatives and using different ingredients. So that's a good challenge, and I'm really enjoying the food that I'm cooking when I eat it as well as when I prepare it. And then the last of these quick points I wanted to mention that I've noticed since becoming vegetarian is I definitely feel a lot healthier, and I believe I'm eating a lot healthier. I think this is just for the fact that obviously there's a lot of fast food that is, non-vegetarian friendly or carnivore type food, nuggets and all the burgers that are full of meat and things like that. And kind of in a downside, there's not many vegetarian options out there. In some good ways, in terms of eating healthy, there's not many vegetarian options out there. So I feel like if you look at it that way, it's kind of a good thing. Obviously, I definitely have cravings from time to time, and I've tried a few semi-vegetarian type takeaways in the past, and I make a lot of junk food as well. Just the other week I made vegan KFC with seitan. So I mean, I'm still eating unhealthy from time to time, but I think just the mere fact that so many foods aren't vegetarian safe, let alone vegan safe to eat, I think it just helps you kind of avoid a bit of junk food if that's something you're looking to do. Or kind of on the money side, the choice between having chocolate, like if I was to go fully dairy free, which I'm on the way to, the choice between having very expensive chocolate or not at all, it would give me a bit of pause. Whereas I feel like normally going into the supermarket, getting dairy milk or whatever, it's obviously normally pretty cheap. But on that note, I did see online just 2 days ago from when I filmed this that apparently Cadbury's looking into making a vegan dairy milk chocolate, which I'd be all for. I thought it was interesting. At the time I was looking for vegan chocolate, trying to try a few things, and that popped up, so that was interesting. Sure, it's probably a cash grab on their part, but still a lot of people could benefit from it at the same time as well. Now obviously, like I said, that's it for all of the quick points that I've kind of mentioned in the past, but there's still 3 things, and this is mainly what I thought about when I wanted to sit down and do this video. There's 3 things I've noticed since becoming vegetarian that I wanted to talk about, and these are a little bit longer points to chat on. The first one being, it really seems like people don't understand what being vegetarian means or what it excludes. I know so many times now when I've gone out to eat with family, friends, I suppose not my direct family, they all get it. Like I said, in the past I've definitely mentioned I've got a vegetarian and a vegan sister, and my family's pretty open and obviously supported that for a long time, and you know, they know what it's all about. I have found in the past few months that on certain occasions, either family, friends, colleagues, or friends of friends, just people not in my immediate circle, when we get onto this subject, kind of question and say, oh, but you still eat fish, right? I feel like it's a pretty common thing to know that it's like still something people do when they're pescatarian to eat fish, but vegetarian means not eating meat. And I would still consider fish a meat, even though it's not meat in the traditional sense. It is fish. It's still flesh from an animal, so I choose not to eat it. And I feel like it's all under that blanket when you're a vegetarian. That said, I do definitely know some vegetarians who eat fish on occasion, but because they predominantly eat vegetarian, they consider themselves as such. And obviously everyone has their own opinions on what ingredients are okay and types of foods. Another vegetarian I know eats marshmallows that have gelatin in them. I think I'm just kind of going with no animal products that are made from animals. I still have dairy on occasion, so the animal byproducts, but I'm trying to cut it out. So who knows, maybe in the future it will be easier to explain to someone when I just say vegan one day. We'll see. Maybe people will get that and know that it's absolutely nothing, although I still feel like there'll be questions. Apart from the confusion with pescatarian, there's still quite a lot of people that have asked me, and this is more than one person, on multiple occasions. People ask me if I still eat cheese, and obviously there are some cheeses that you can't eat as a vegetarian, like Parmesan for the most part, but people have asked, can I have cheddar cheese? And I'm obviously not fully vegan. Like I've said, I do have cheese on occasion, so I don't know, are they confusing vegetarianism with veganism? I'm not sure. I just thought it was a funny thing to notice, and I don't know if any of you out there who are vegetarian or vegans have noticed the same. I'm not obviously hating on anyone asking these questions. I think in some ways it's good to be curious and ask. I just feel like for my whole life, even before my relatives became vegetarian or vegan, I knew the difference. Now, the next thing I've noticed over the past 6 months since I became vegetarian is something else that people sort of question or say when I do mention that I'm vegetarian. I never really go out of my way to say it. If anything, I try and keep it a little bit quiet because I'm worried about that idea that people have about how do you know when someone's vegan or vegetarian to a lesser extent. They'll tell you. I feel like I obviously talk about it if it comes up, but otherwise I don't want to jam it down people's throat. One thing I notice though when I do get onto the subject with people is a lot of times people will say, oh yeah, I'm not eating much meat, or oh yeah, I'm cutting back on meat, or I eat very little. And majority of people say this when I get onto the subject. I don't know if it's either for them trying to make me feel like we have things more in common, or if it's genuinely the case. I know a lot of people around the world, and definitely in Australia, just from what I've seen, are cutting down on meat consumption, and that's just by things like meat-free Mondays and whatnot. There's a lot more options out there that even if you're not vegetarian or vegan, they're out there, so you'll try. Just like before I made the switch, I had a lot of meat-free days. And in truth, maybe this sort of response is something that I gave a vegetarian or vegan in the past. I couldn't tell you, but I just thought that's interesting that it's a comment that a lot of people do respond with when we get onto the subject. obviously either cause for that response. I think it's a good thing that people are curious about it and interested, and that we have something to relate on in that sense. All right, and then the last point I wanted to mention is a bit different to the rest, since it's not anything to do with other people and interactions. It's all just something personal and something that exists in my brain. It's the fact that I've had a few nightmares about eating meat, which is really strange. I have no secrets about the fact that I obviously ate meat for like 25 years of my life. That's kind of what I tell people when they eat meat in front of me and apologize. I say, hey, this time last year I was eating meat. You know, I'm not gonna rip it out of someone's hands or have a go at them. But my brain now definitely sees meat as really off-putting, and in these dreams it's literally like a nightmare. I remember times where in dreams someone's fed me food and then they've told me it's meat and I get really upset, or I've eaten it accidentally and realized after the fact, and these dreams were pretty scary. I mean, not scary in the sense of being chased by someone, but they freaked me out. So I wonder, anyone else out there, have you had scary meat dreams? I'd be interested to know. But now that's the last point, and that means I've kind of chatted about everything I wanted to today. As always, if you have anything to say on the subject, or even if it's a bit random, definitely let me know in the comments down below. And if you're a new vegetarian like me, I'd love to hear from you. What are some similar things you've experienced, different to what I've experienced? Or even if you've been a vegetarian for a long time or a vegan for a long time, tell me some interesting stories. I'd really like to know what to expect from here on out. But now, with all of that said, I will be wrapping it up here. So I just wanted to thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it in this different style, just very casual, like I said, not much editing, not much going on, just me chatting in front of my camera. If you like that, please give me a thumbs up. But like I've said, I will be leaving it here, so I just wanted to thank you once again for watching, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye!